thing scared me. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Glad you guys can be here. We're going to jump right into the build. This build is inspired by a book. The book is The Silmarillion, and if you aren't familiar with The Silmarillion, it was written by Tolkien, who also wrote Lord of the Rings. I'm assuming most of you guys are familiar with Lord of the Rings. If you aren't, you've been living under a rock. There's a part in the book where a character named Fingolfin goes and attacks the Dark Lord, Morgoth. In the book, the good guy is facing insurmountable odds. I wanted to recreate something that paralleled that idea. The little elf that is charging a massive troll, I think, does it justice. I like to think that this elf is going to save his brother, who is captured by the bad guys. Despite the elders of his people not approving of his request, the lonesome elf heads out into the wastelands to save his forsaken brother, no matter the cost or the foe he encounters. Now, with all that nerdiness aside, we can get to the build. So far, it's been a box from Diorama with gray joint compound slapped on the top, with bark and the gravel added for texture, and that's the point we're at. And then I had this little aluminum tube with an LED in it that you kind of saw, and I put it in, but the light, when I tested it, was not shining the way I wanted to. I was getting really irritated. Basically, I ripped the light off, went away for a couple hours, came back with a bigger aluminum rod and tested another bigger LED. Now I'm drilling a new hole right through the bark rather than along the side. Before I went along the side, hot glued some other bark on top of the aluminum to hide it, but now I'm going to go right through, and hopefully this LED is gonna shine better. I still wasn't fully happy with the result, but overall I think it was okay. Taking this aluminum tubing now and threading it up through the bark. This aluminum tubing, by the way, is very easy to bend. Whatever your project is, if you need bendable tube like this, aluminum is a go-to. I'm using Diorama LEDs here. Now, these are basically LEDs for dummies. You can snip whatever length you need, and you have the switch already attached. If you don't know anything about LEDs, or you know very little, or you just don't have the parts and you don't want to order them all in, LEDs from Diorama you should be able to find. You can definitely get them during Christmas season at my Diorama dollar store. Again, depending on where you are in the world. I'm in Canada, so we have Diorama, so you might have other stuff, Dollar Giant, whatever. Point is, they have LEDs year round if I need them. Here, started to paint the miniatures up, assemble them. Yeah, that is bark. It is bark. You can use anything for a miniature holder as long as you have sticky tack. Once I went over my creation with a wash that I made way too dark, and I basically just painted it. Wait 1 second.
Mom, no. It's not the moon. I already told you. Mom, it's not the moon, okay? I'm trying to make a video. 1 second.
Okay, so back into the wash. Thinned it out a bunch, as you can see. Actually looks like a wash. The look came out much better. Once I was done, threading the LEDs through again, whipping out my electrical engineering degree, slapping the LEDs in place and the little box in place, and then testing how the light worked, testing how it looked on the miniature now. From here, it was just the final steps. I took a little wire. This can be wire from literally anything. You could even use like a paper clip if you really wanted. I used this little wire that I got from Diorama, mounted it inside the tube. Actually, you can kind of see it there. Mounted in there with some accelerator. Super glued the troll down. You'll notice at the beginning of the video, this mace broke. It broke in the process of 3D printing it. Then it broke again when I was painting it. So I figured, hey, maybe I should reinforce this thing. So I took that same wire that I used to mount the elf, and I basically just threaded it through the chain, super glued it a bit. It is way less wobbly. It just works better. A final dry brush, coating the sides black, and the results.